Hi everyone and welcome to Code on Fire. This tutorial is part of a series of tutorials in which we will see how to create a menu system and how to manage the user interface more generally by creating animations and so on. Let's start right away by creating a main menu. At this moment we are in a third-person project and if we go to play, the default map will start, which is the third-person map, as we can see here. We first need to start our game from another level, which will be the one that will contain our main menu. So we go to the content row, right-click, and add a new level that we will call main menu. We move to the new level, and as you can see, there is nothing yet. In reality, we will not need assets in the scene. If we go to play, what will happen will be exactly this. We will see our character falling into the void. To avoid this, we go to the content, right-click, blueprint, and we create a new game mode dedicated to this level. We rename it as GM_main menu. In the world settings, we go to the part dedicated to the game mode. If you don't have this window, you can open it by going here in Windows, World Settings. We search for our game mode, GM_main menu. We insert it, we open the selected game mode. In the default pawn, we replace with none. Going to play, we will no longer see our character falling into the void. Now let's create the widget blueprint that will allow us to create the main menu. Again, right-click, user interface, widget blueprint, user widget. We rename it as WGT_main menu. We open it. First of all, we insert a canvas that will give us the proportions of our screen. So, we search for canvas and bring it to the window below. We add the other components. To create our main menu, we will need three buttons that will be play, settings, and exit. To order them, we can use a vertical box. We put it inside the canvas. We move it and insert the anchor point. We will set a single button from which the others will then be duplicated, so as not to have to repeat all the settings. So, button, we bring it inside the vertical box. Let's look at some features of our buttons. In the appearance part, we have several customization options. First of all, the style. We will consider the normal and hover part. Normal is the aspect that our button assumes when it has no interaction, while hover is the aspect it assumes when the mouse cursor passes over it. Here you can insert images if you want to create custom buttons. First of all, the color. In this case, we give it a light blue color. In this part, we find what is the outliner, which is the frame that appears around our button. We increase the dimensions in this way, and we change the round type from fixed to half-8 radius to obtain a rounded outline of a button. As a color, we will give the outliner an orange using complementary colors. Having done this, we put a text inside our button to also give it the right dimensions. We take the text component and drag it onto our button. We select the text, we go to the font and give it a size of 50. As you can see, the dimensions of our button automatically adapt. So we go back to the button, we go to the hover part. In this case, we will give similar colors to those we have already given, but in a lighter color. We are going to change to half-8 radius to have a rounded shape even when the mouse hovers over the button. At this point, we will need to insert the widget inside the scene. In fact, at this moment, if we go to play, we will not see the menu appear because we have not yet created it and added it to the viewport. In this case, to do it, having no other references, we will use the level blueprint. So we go to this part, we open the level blueprint. In this part in the part of event begin play, we are going to pull a connection first node create widget, and we are going to insert our main menu. Now we add it to the viewport with the add to viewport node. We are going to connect the return to target. We compile, save, and now going to play. We will finally see the menu appear. We exit from the play mode, we return to the widget, we are going to slightly reduce the dimensions of the vertical box, we continue creating the animations, we are going to rename our button, and we are going to create the first animation. If this window does not open, click here on animations and this timeline will open. In this part, we are going to add the new animation that we are going to call play button animation. We select it and choose the component on which we want to create our animation. In this case, our play button. Once insert, we move to the plus button and we will be given all the components that can be animated, and so we have color, visibility, and more. We choose the transform component, we go to rotation, angle. Here we are given the length of our animation. We want it to be 1 second long. So we drag this red delimiter to 1 and we start to insert the first keyframe on rotation. The angle value will be 0. So we insert the first keyframe. We activate the recording by clicking on this icon. At this moment, any change we are going to make on our component will translate into a keyframe inserted within the timeline. We move to 0.25. We give a value of 45 degrees. In case the red delimiter should be blocked, as in this case, go to the icon with the gear, open and uncheck on keep playback range. As you can see, we can again modify the duration of animation. We move to 0.5, we insert a value of 0 in the angle. On 0.75 minus 45 degrees. And again, we move to the end of our animation and we are going to give the angle a value of 0. We can remove the recording and we have created what is our animation. To assign this animation also to the other buttons, we will have to create 2 more animations. So, animation, we create the animation and we will call it settings button animation. Then we will create another animation that will be the one linked to the exit button. To be able to proceed faster, we are going to duplicate the buttons first and then the animations. We select the play button, Ctrl C, then Ctrl V, and again Ctrl V to get the third button. At this point, we are going to change the text inside our buttons. In the first, we will simply write play. In the second, settings, and in the third, exit. Now we need to adjust the margin between one button and the other. We go to padding. We create a margin to left, top, right, and bottom. We give a value to the margin below of 120. We rename the buttons F2. This will be the settings. This will be our exit button. Okay, we return to the settings button animation. We add our settings button. We insert the transform component as we did for the play button. We return to the play button animation. We select the keyframes with a select box, Ctrl C to copy. We return to the settings button animation, transform. We select it, Ctrl V to paste, assigning the same keyframes. We reduce the time of animation. Here, we bring it to 1 second. We do the same for the exit button animation. We add the exit button, we add the transform component, we select it, Ctrl V to paste. We reduce the duration of the animation. We have created the animations for all 3 buttons. We are now going to create the events that will allow us to add functionality to our buttons. Play to start the game and exit to exit. Therefore, selecting the play button, we go down to the part of the events and click on the plus button next to the unclicked event. We pull the connection and we go to search for the open level by name node. We have to write exactly the name of the level we want to open in this part. In this case, the third person map. We give a slight delay to the opening of this level, so we add a delay node and give 0.5 of delay. Now we select the exit button, we add an unclicked event and connect it to the node quit game. We compile, save, we go to the play mode, we click on the play button, the game scene will open. If we click on the exit button, we will exit the game. Now, let's manage the activation of the animation. We select the play button in this part and go to on hovered. In practice, we will activate the animation when the mouse cursor passes over the play button. We add the play animation node. On this pin, we will insert the animation we want to reproduce. Drag and drop on play button animation, get, and connect it. Here we find the play mode. Forward, the animation goes from start to finish. Reverse, from end to start. Ping pong, the animation will start from the beginning, reach the end, and then go back, and so it will have completed a loop. We set the play mode to ping pong and increase the number of loops, for example to 10. We will stop the animation when the mouse cursor is no longer over the button. To do this, we will use the unhovered event node. To it, we will connect the stop animation node. Obviously, the animation that will have to be stopped will always be the same, our play button animation. We will do the same operation on all the other buttons. Once finished, we compile and save. When we pass with the mouse cursor on the button, the animation will start. This is just the beginning of our journey. We will see how to improve our animations, how to create more complex ones. For the moment, the important thing is to understand the basic concept. We return to the widget in the design part, and this time we are going to add images in the background in the main menu. To do this is very simple. We just need to take the image component, we put it in the canvas, we insert 2 in this case. These images will appear as a rectangle made of a single color. We insert images inside in this way. As we can see now, our images are covering our buttons. This is because we need to fix the Z order. In practice, we need to fix the order of the levels. In this case, the image has a 0 level, which is the same of the vertical box. So, to overlap the vertical box to the images, we give the value of 1 to the vertical box. We go to the image component and insert images. We first import them into the content. At this point, we are going to insert the images that I renamed as image 1 menu and image 2 menu inside the image components. So we go to search for our image 1 menu. Then we go to insert in the other image component the image 2 menu image. The reason why I inserted 2 different images is because we are going to see how to animate the background of our menu by making different images appear over time. So we are going to create another animation that we are going to call slider image. We select it, we add our component that we are going to rename as image 1 and image 2. The component that we should animate in this case will be visibility. When one image will be visible, the other will not be. We will make the animation last 1 second. Visible, at this moment image 1 is visible, so we go to insert our first keyframe. We move to the middle of the animation and we go to insert another keyframes, but in the hidden mode, and we insert the keyframe. We add the visibility component to image 2. In this case, the last keyframe will be set in the visible mode. We move the cursor to the beginning, we change the mode to hidden, and we insert the keyframe. We give the right dimensions to image 2. We scroll the timeline. As we can see, we have to change of images as we have set it. Now, in order for this animation to become visible, we have to connect it to the event construct, which is an event that comes into function when the widget is created. So we pull the connection and we search for the play animation node. We take the animation and connect it. We will leave the play mode as forward. We go to play. As we can see, we have the animations. We are going to increase the number of loops, a value of 10, for example. At this point, another operation that we have to perform is to set the main menu level as the first to be visible when the game starts. So we go to Edit, Project Setting, we go to search for Maps. In this part we are going to insert the main menu level. Now going to play. As we can see, everything works as expected, but there are still adjustments to be made. In fact, if in the menu we click on any point, our mouse cursor disappears and therefore will not allow us to select the components that interest us. Therefore, to fix this type of problem, we return to the event graph and we are going to insert a variable that is the set show mouse cursor in the event construct. We go to search for it, show mouse, we uncheck the context sensitive and we go to insert it. In the target, we insert the get player controller. Finally, we specify the type of input. In this case, however, our variable we have to be set as true, so we have to check this part because our mouse cursor we have to always be visible in order to select the various components. So we go to specify, as we were saying, the type of input that will have to be given, and so we go to search for the set input mode, and in this case we choose the UI only node and we connect it to the get player controller. We will have to do something similar but opposite, in the sense that in this case the variable we have to be set to false in the on-clicked play button. Then we pull the connection and we go to search again for the set show mouse cursor node. We connect the get player controller and we are going to specify the type of input that in this case we have to be game only. We connect the get player controller, we compile, save and test everything. We go to play. We can see that by clicking on any point the cursor does not disappear. And when we enter the third person map, so in the actual game, the mouse cursor does not appear. For now, that's all. And I remind you that this is just the first appointment regarding the creation of widgets, animation, and more generally, the creation and use of a user interface. More tutorial will follow. We will also implement the settings buttons. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel.